All right, let's cut through the fluff about Langley, BC, because on the surface, it seems like the perfect escape from the city life. Am I right? You've got the small town charm, quiet streets, and plenty of open spaces. But here's the truth. For many people, living in Langley isn't the fairy tale that they had imagined. In fact, some parts of life here can feel downright frustrating. Imagine this. You move to Langley expecting a breath of fresh air, only to find yourself stuck in traffic, scrambling for affordable housing, and watching that small town feel disappear from under the weight of all of the rapid development. Does that sound familiar? Well, if not, it could be your reality if you're not prepared. As a local real estate agent, my job isn't just to sell you on all of the pretty side of Langley. It's also to help you see the full picture, the good, the bad, and yes, sometimes even the ugly. Because let's face it, you don't want to make one of the biggest decisions of your life only to end up with buyer's remorse. So today I'm going to be breaking down the worst parts about living in Langley, the ones that nobody else seems to talk about. And trust me, you're going to want to know all of these before you make any decisions. Are you ready? Let's dive in. And we're going to start with a big one, which is traffic. You might think that, hey, every city has traffic, right? Sure, but in Langley, it's a whole different kind of beast. With more people moving here every year, many of the roads, especially during the rush hour, have turned into an endless gridlock. We've got Highway 1, 200th Street, Fraser Highway. You pick your route, and I guarantee that you're going to find yourself inching along, and if there's an accident, well, good luck, because you're in for a long haul. And here's the thing, Langley's still growing. So guess what that means? It means more construction projects are popping up, making traffic even worse. So, imagine planning a 10-minute grocery run or trying to drop your kids off at school only to end up sitting in bumper-to-bumper traffic. And if you're commuting into Vancouver or even just over to Surrey, you're going to feel the weight of Langley's traffic on a daily basis. By the way, guys, if you're new to this channel, my name is Glen Hopkins, and I create videos all about Canadian real estate, especially around the Fraser Valley area. So if that is something you're interested in, please be sure to subscribe to the channel now. Just hit that button, and that way you're not going to miss out on any of my upcoming videos. Also, if you would like my help in buying or selling a home here in the Fraser Valley, there is a link in the description box below where you can schedule a call with me. All right, next up, let's talk about housing. You might think that if you're moving from a place like Vancouver to a suburb like Langley, it would give you a bit of a break on housing costs, right? Well, not so fast, because Langley's housing prices have climbed dramatically. And if you're looking to rent, you're in for a real shock. Not only are the rental options limited, but the ones that are available, well, they come with a pretty steep price tag. So affordable? Well, not really. And it gets even tougher. Because of the limited rental options, we're seeing bidding wars over apartments, townhouses, and pretty much anything at all. And that means that if you're not ready to buy, you're competing against everyone else who is trying to rent, which is probably not the kind of stress most people sign up for when they're moving out into the suburbs. Oh, and if you don't drive, well, buckle up, because Langley's public transit, well, it might leave you stranded. Well, most places like, Surrey and Vancouver, they offer options such as the SkyTrain and frequent bus service. Langley hasn't caught up quite just yet. And, there are plans, yes, to extend the SkyTrain in the years to come. But for now, today, it's just not going to do you any good. And so these limited transit options can be a major pain for families, especially with teenagers, elderly parents, or really anyone who relies on public transit. Because without a car, you're looking at long waits for buses and extended travel times. So just keep in mind that the independence that you might get in other cities, well, it's kind of limited here. So if you're picturing an easy transit system to get around, you're going to probably need to rethink that. Oh, and you're probably going to need to say goodbye to that small town feel, because, one of the things that people used to love about Langley was just that, its small town charm. There was open space, farmland, and quiet neighborhoods. But if you're moving here for that peaceful small town feel, be ready to say goodbye to it pretty quickly. Because with all the new developments, what used to be farmland is now turning into subdivisions, shopping centers, and industrial sites. That wide open space, well, they're shrinking day by day. Langley's landscape, it's shifting, and it's starting to look more and more like the typical suburb with, crowded neighborhoods, packed schools, and ever-growing number of shopping plazas. Now, I understand, and understandably, this is all just the price of growth. But if you're someone who values peace and space, this might not be what you're looking for. And watching Langley's character change like this, it might be tough for you if you're moving here with the plan to escape that big city hustle. All right, now let's talk about medical care, because this one is a biggie. Langley does have a hospital and a number of clinics, but the healthcare system here is stretched to its limits. As Langley's population has grown, so has its demand for medical care. And Langley Memorial Hospital, it often struggles with overcapacity, long wait times in the ER, and a shortage of family doctors and specialists. So if you or someone in your family has ongoing health needs, this can be a huge downside. It's not unusual to hear about people waiting hours in the emergency rooms or even months to find a family doctor who is accepting new patients. And for families with young kids or elderly parents, this is especially concerning. You want to have access to reliable healthcare, and that's something that Langley is still trying to keep up with. Okay, I'm about to reveal what is possibly the worst part about living in Langley. But before I do that, I want to hear from you. Do you think Langley is losing its charm with all of this rapid growth? Or, do you think that these changes will make it a better place to live in the long run? Let me know in the comments below. Okay, so one downside about living in Langley that a lot of people often don't think about when considering a move here is, crime rates. Now, I'm not saying that Langley's a dangerous place, but it has seen an increase in certain types of crime in recent years. Property crime, car break-ins, and vandalism are all on the rise in some pockets around Langley. And as more people move here and development ramps up, some of these issues, that larger cities face are starting to make their way into Langley as well. Local authorities, they're working really hard to address this, but if you're considering moving to one of the more affordable neighborhoods, let's just say it's definitely something that you want to be aware of. Everyone wants peace of mind and security, and this can be a growing concern for families and homeowners who are moving to Langley. But here's the thing, if you're still considering Langley, you're probably wondering how it compares to a city like Surrey, which is another top choice very nearby. So, is Surrey any better, or are you going to face these same frustrations there? Well, in my next video, I'm going to break down the pros and cons of living in Langley versus Surrey, BC. And I'm going to reveal which city truly fits different lifestyles to help you determine which city is a better match for you. So don't miss it. Click on that video now, and I will see you over there.